Hi, my name is Ben Diamond. I'm a recent graduate of Haverford College, a percussionist, and a composer. Today I sat down with my good friend Ethan Joseph for a very short conversation about new music. Ethan is an accomplished violinist and a budding conductor. Ethan, what do you like about playing new music?
So this past year I had the opportunity to play some pieces by my peers, and it was, first of all, really interesting to just be with the composer and just be able to ask a lot of questions and really fully understand exactly how the piece should be played. A lot of times when you're working with older composers and works that have been played a lot, you don't necessarily know how it should be played. And even if you do, even if there is a standard, what's to say that that standard is really standard for a good reason? There may be any number of reasons why pieces have have been played a certain way over and over again. And it's nice to have the opportunity to deal with the music from scratch, to not have the ability to listen to it beforehand, to just kind of go into it and bring your musical skills and see what happens.
So Ethan, would you say that playing new music has changed the way you play old music?
Well, I guess I like to think that I come to any piece of music, whether it be something that has been written in the last year or something that was written 100, 200, 300 years ago, with some sort of new experience. You're always bringing to music new experiences because you're always listening to new music. New music for me might be different than new music for other people. And by that I mean, when I got to college, I had never heard Beethoven's Symphony No. 7. But having heard it now many, many, many times, I can safely say that it's changed the way I approach music in some way, and I can say that about any number of other pieces in the repertoire. That is to say that there is so much music to learn, and every time you learn a new piece, it brings something to the other pieces you're working on. So in that sense, learning new music is really the same as learning any music, because you're always engaged in a process of learning and discovery, no matter if the piece was written yesterday or a long time ago. That being said, of course there are other challenges that are interesting and fun when you're dealing with new music. And one of the things I like is just the broad range of the harmonic palette that composers get to use now. There is some sense of an expectation of the types of chords and harmonies and sort of melodic structures that Beethoven will use, that Brahms will use. As a musician, you can come to expect that, and you sort of know how to deal with those problems. So even if it's a piece by Beethoven or a piece by Schumann that you haven't heard before, you sort of know what to bring to it. You sort of know how to deal with it, and there is some sense of expectation. But with new music, it can be anything. It really can. There's so much open to composers nowadays when they work that it really provides a musician, especially a music student, with an amazing new way to think about music.